Welcome to the sixth mass extinction.
Before collapse, before the rapture, before bits of bricks and broken glasses, before scores of storms flatten us, habitats dried up and cracked. After NAFTA, the disastrous supranational trade pact and unfettered access to capital. Before the crash that ended crashes. After the green light on greed, governments governing by agreement. Design signed by the company chief, by and for corporate supersede. Override the needs of life before we die, cause they sign it. The sky cracked and society took two gigantic steps.
Welcome to Cascadia Hockey, brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. Today's intro music brought to you by somebody screwing up my thing.
Lee Reed.
Lee Reed. The title of the song is Six Massive.
Yep. On his Strange Famous debut record, Before and Aftermath.
I was always much happier after math.
Aftermath was the best.
Yeah, because that was lunch. Was right after math.
Jesus.
Fuck off, guys.
We've already started.
Got to start it early. My name is Corey Gaston. I am your host with the least. And we are here to talk some hockey. Behind the boards today, the man, the myth, the misanthrope, one Mr. Aaron Piper.
Hello.
Fucking low energy motherfucker. Across from me, the hockey hotness.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
Right
like
there,
that.
one Miss Anya Piper.
Hey, boys.
Sup, skid? Down at the end of the table, the regular guy, number 86, Derek Schoenrock.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Ah, fuck my phone.
I'm here, and Freddy Krueger is ringing in your phone.
Somebody's trying to call me from Tennessee. That's no good.
Tennessee.
So, and we have
Special guest.
with us today on the phone one Mr. Parker AuCoin.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for being back. I was hoping you wouldn't have fallen asleep. That was a really long intro we did for you there. So.
You don't get to pick the music anymore. That was too long.
Yeah. It's got to be about afternoon nap time for you, huh? I mean, it's like, afternoon there right now.
Yeah, it's just about 1 p.m.
Nice.
coming up here. So
Ottawa, man, Carleton University. How is it? How is it?
it's been great so far. Definitely an adjustment. Living on my own with roommates and stuff, and I can't just come home after practice every day and sit on my ass and play video games and do nothing. You actually have to be an adult and do school and do all that stuff. So it's definitely been a big adjustment for me. I think the first couple months, obviously just getting used to a new lifestyle, a new place and everything, but now I'm all settled in, and I'm really happy that this is where I chose to be, and our team's doing really well, so that's obviously a big part of it too.
Fuck yeah, 9-1 at last check. You guys are tearing it up. You said you were ranked third. New rankings haven't come out yet today, but I mean third in Canada. That's pretty fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, no, we've been doing really well. We had a really good recruiting class, and we've kind of gelled together really well. So I have not a complaint.
Very cool. Yeah, I saw you got to keep number 32, which is pretty fucking rad.
I did, yeah, and I got to choose. I wasn't so fond of 32 when I was 17. I felt like Jonathan Quick, like I should have been the backup goalie, but it grew on me, and it became a part of me. So I thought I'd keep it rolling.
That's really cool. You didn't even have to kill anybody. You didn't have to buy anybody a steak dinner to keep the number or anything like that.
No one wants to wear fucking 32. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's awesome.
Why not? I like 32. That's a great number.
Hey,
yeah, for a goalie.
All right.
I gotta be honest though, man. Every time I'm in the stands at the Yoda and I see Kriva Krasov is wearing that number 32 this year, I'm like, damn, it's kind of weird not having Coiner here right now.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely. I've said to a lot of people that you get so used to going back somewhere, every summer during the same time, and you just kind of get into the same routine, and then all of a sudden you don't anymore, and it's like, well, what the hell do I do with myself?
Yeah, for real, all new routines and stuff.
The big question on everybody's mind though is, are you skipping leg day?
Am I skipping leg day? I try not to. You know,
that's a pretty big pause.
Try and
there,
keep it up.
Can't skip leg day, bro.
Never.
Did you find yourself a leg day bay yet?
Leg day bay. Oh, I don't know.
So okay,
these fucking
Okay,
guys.
why don't you give him a little
season? Yeah.
Have you seen Letterkenny?
So season 7, because
The
I know
last
you have
season.
so much free time on your hands right now.
Yeah.
Season 7 just dropped for Letterkenny, and that's all we've been talking about. And there's a whole. Have you seen it? First off, season 7.
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't watched it religiously at all.
Okay.
It's interesting to me because we got Playfair on there, so it's funny to see him on there.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Him and Andrew Herr's character started Leg Day Bay because they hate doing leg day. So in the gym they have this thing you can join called Leg Day Bay, where you find another friend or significant other that hates doing leg day as well. So.
Oh, there you go. Well, now I know. Now I understand your reference next time.
It's always funnier when you have to fucking explain it.
I know. Yeah, Dylan's funny though. We love that show.
Yeah.
So the college life, man. I mean, I saw your majoring in economics, all that stuff. I mean, how is this experience different than when you were in junior in high school, with all the studies and everything that you had to do?
I think definitely like first year is similar. Because you're coming to a new place that you're unfamiliar with. A new school, meeting new classmates. Obviously, there's not 30,000 students at Kamaikan like there is at Carleton.
Right.
But no, I think it's very similar. Just like I said before, getting used to new routines and trying to find your niche in a new place. I think that's been a big thing for me. In Tri-City, felt like I knew what I was gonna accomplish each day, and what I was going to be held accountable for. And here, you don't really have that. You're kind of on your own. You have to figure that out for yourself. And that's definitely like similar to first year in the Western League. You're new guy on campus or new guy in the dressing room, like everything. So I think it's definitely similar, but once you get settled in, get to know everyone, I think, obviously my first year went really well for me, and this year is going well for me as well. So
That's awesome.
How are classes going?
they're going well. I think it's pretty easy to fall into the trap in university of, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then it's tomorrow and you're fucked.
Yeah.
So I've definitely been, trying to stay diligent, and they have a ton of resources at Carleton and at just about every university with varsity athletes, of like making sure that you're on top of your studies, and they have tons of academic advisors and people you can schedule meetings with, and the coaches are very helpful, and especially the older guys who have been through it and stuff. So if you put in half an ounce of effort to making yourself better, you have all the tools to do so.
Nice. What's the hockey culture around the campus like?
So Carleton, I'm not sure how much exactly you guys know about Carleton. Probably fucking nothing.
I know it's in Ottawa, and
Exactly
they have a rugby team as well. I know that.
I know you attend
Yes.
there.
Yeah. So Carleton men's basketball is like the shit. Like they've won 18 of the last 19 national championships or something like that.
Wow.
Holy fucking A,
dude.
Yeah. So they skipped 1 year in like 2008, 2009 or something like that. And they've won every national championship except that one since 2000, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
So that's kind of they're more of like the big dogs. Obviously, we have the Senators, we have the 67s in Ottawa also. So like hockey, like university hockey is kind of like in the shadows a little bit, which is like gonna be the same, whether if you're in Calgary or you're in Edmonton, you're anywhere with an NHL team. So I mean it's not as like prevalent as one would think because we have other major sports, but obviously we've been doing really well and we're nationally ranked in the top 5. So that kind of gets more attention put our way, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. 67s are in the OHL, correct?
OHL, yeah.
So I'm thinking out loud because you're talking about, with the NHL in town there. I'm thinking about with Seattle getting a team, and we've got 2 major junior teams there with Everett and Seattle. How is the 67s? I mean, do they have their own following? Are they trying to follow on the coattails of the Senators? How does that work there?
I think from what I've heard and what I've kind of gathered is they do much better than the Senators do. The 67's rink is right smack in the middle of downtown Ottawa.
Okay.
And the Senators rink is like 20 minutes away from like everything. It's like outside. It's in Canada. It's not technically in Ottawa.
Wow.
So 67s do really well. They have fucking $2 beers on Friday nights. They have all sorts of shit going on. So they promote it really well, and it's in a great area, with like restaurants and bars, and everything's kind of close. So I think they have tons of success that way. Where the Senators also suck.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help their
Yes.
their.
It always
their
helps when you
following
win.
Oh God, yeah. So it's funny you explain it. Kind of sounds like Kelowna to me. I haven't personally been up to Kelowna. I know you have several times, but from what I hear, that whole environment around the rink in Kelowna is just incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And Kelowna wins. That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
I think that's half the battle. Getting fans, to watch junior hockey is they don't want to watch teams lose. Like there's always a buzz around winning teams. Like 3, 4, 5 years ago when I was just getting into the league, like Kelowna was the show. They had Draisaitl, they had all Merkley, they had all those guys,
Yep.
and everyone like wants to go watch them, and you're fighting to get a ticket every night,
Yeah. Yeah, winning does cure a lot of things. We try to fight that a lot of times around here. We're always trying to do what we can to promote local hockey. I mean, once again, the southeastern corner of Washington State, it's not a hockey hotbed, but I definitely think it's got the ability to sell out the Yoda a lot more times than not. That kind of disappoints me sometimes. I'm going to be on a soapbox here for just a second.
But wait, when you go back to that, when you say Yoda, I always think of Yoda.
It's the Toyota Center.
I know, but I think of Yoda, like the green guy on
Yeah.
Star Wars. Is it just because it's called Toyota?
Yeah, the Yoda.
So I'm just thinking Star Wars.
Parker knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But,
We can thank Boosh for that one.
yeah, I know, man. We can thank Boosh for a lot of things, dude. That guy.
Fucking guy, man.
Wait.
Did you say puck to the eye?
No, I said fucking guy.
Oh, that fucking guy. Did you just explain who Yoda was?
That's right.
Well, just in case you didn't know.
Tattooed on my fucking arm.
Just in case. And actually, I forgot he's tattooed on your arm.
Yeah, he is. Did you? Speaking of Boosh, hi Boosh, if you're listening, which I know you're not. Did you see anything about the puck he took to the face earlier this year?
Yeah, I saw he was wearing the full face, and then I saw that photo that the Everett photographer put up of him when he's got 2 black eyes and his nose is sideways, and oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even know it had happened, and we were doing something. I talked to the trainer there, and he was explaining like what was going on, and I'm like, "What happened? What happened to Boosh?" He's like, he took a puck directly to the mouth, which then proceeded to bounce up underneath his visor and hit him in both eyes. I was like, "Holy shit!" So
That's a bad day.
fucking Boosh, man.
Yeah.
You want to go back on your soapbox?
No, I don't know. My soapbox. We've had this conversation before. I get frustrated. I don't know how much you care to share, Parker, about the run you guys went on. Well, with the Americans a couple years ago, when you all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and it's Game 6, and the Toyota Center was maybe 60% full. Kind of pissed me off, just to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Okay. I don't know if that affected, you guys, the team, if you noticed that, or if you're just like, fuck it, we're out here to win. It doesn't fucking matter.
See, like what never made sense to me is our playoffs were much more empty than regular season, always.
Yep.
It's like fans didn't know that was like a thing. They're like, oh, the schedule's done. Now let's not go.
That's. I'm going to tell you right now. That's exactly what it is.
I know.
Yeah, I remember the first season that we really got involved with the team was I don't remember if you were there. It was the year before you were there. It was when Hammonick was captain. You didn't play that?
Yeah,
year.
that was right before. That was the year I was drafted, so I wasn't playing. So the year right before I got there.
Okay, so they went. It was a crazy run at the end of the season for the team to get into the playoffs. Like they had to beat Portland one night, which they hadn't beat Portland at all that year, literally. And then they beat Portland. They get in the playoffs. They open up against Kelowna, and I'm all excited, man. I'm thinking playoffs are going to be this huge deal. And you walk in, and there's like 2,000 people there.
I know, yeah.
And I was just like, okay, well, maybe it's because it's a Tuesday. And then the next night it was a Wednesday, and then of course that season was over. But then I started thinking a couple of years ago when the team went on that run to the finals, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to get better every round. It didn't, man, and it really it was discouraging to me. But
for sure, yeah,
that's my soapbox, man. So if AMS fans, and I know Park, I know you tagged one on that post we did this morning. I know his family and stuff, they're highly involved. That was your billet family, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, those guys, I see them there all the time. There are those committed fans here, but man, constantly empty seats at the Toyota Center. So take it from your friend Parker AuCoin, you need to come watch hockey.
Absolutely.
Parker's like, yeah,
I approve this message.
Whatever.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's get off that soapbox because I could be on that for a while. I want you to talk to me and all of us about the Humboldt Foundation event that happened this summer, because I know last time we talked to you, you were kind of in the planning phases, getting everything together, and then it happened, and it looked like this year was bigger than last year with it. Can you confirm or deny that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess just some background info. We did the same 14 tournament because there was the 4 kids from St. Albert who died in the Humboldt crash.
Mm-hmm.
We did the same sort of thing, except there was no silent auction. So the first year we did a silent auction because we wanted to raise as much money as possible. Because they started a St. Albert Remembrance Fund. The former mayor did, and they did a bunch of park benches and scholarships and stuff. So we were really trying to kind of get that kick started and raise as much money as we can. So this year we canned the silent auction and just did the hockey. And we had Ron McLean. I know that we talked about that before, but so we reached out to Ron McLean, and he flew in, and he was actually on my team. And if you want me to get on a soapbox and talk about Ron McLean, holy fuck, that is the best person I've ever met. No questions asked.
Go for it, dude. Talk about it. That's awesome.
The way he, everyone knows who Ron McLean is. Anyone who knows, hockey or knows, knows who that is. And if you didn't know, for whatever reason, he would treat you like just anyone else. And he was, he was bringing in like 24 packs of beer for all the boys, and we went out. So we rented the top of the Canadian Brew House, and we had drink specials for everyone and stuff. And he's there buying beers for everyone, drinking with everyone, sharing stories, taking pictures. And he's out there playing hockey with a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old kids.
That's awesome.
And it was just I could never say enough about him. And he also donated $1,000, brought a check and just wrote it right there in front of everyone for $1,000 and said,
awesome.
"Here, this is for you guys." So yeah, the tournament went really well. We did donation boxes, and we actually had Gong Show Hockey donated Humboldt Strong shirts to us.
Nice.
So we sold those. For $20 a pop or whatever. We actually ended up raising over $20,000 again.
Wow.
So, but we talked about this before. You guys know how close to home that hits for me, because those were for my friends.
Fuck yeah.
So definitely was a big thing to do again in the community, and it's going to be bigger and better next year. We got we have so many people on board that think it's such a great idea. We have tons of media coverage and, a big following on Twitter and stuff like that. So I think it's only gonna, we're onwards and upwards, but, just like the grassroots of St. Albert hockey. And, I didn't grow up there, but just knowing how supportive everyone is of the hockey community and, the community that was affected by the Humboldt thing is it's unbelievable, man. And you obviously, like I said, how near and dear that is to my heart. So it was like a really special thing, especially to have, Ron McLean, and we had Parayko again, who just won the Stanley Cup.
Nice.
Yeah.
We had Nick Holden, plays for Las Vegas. So we had tons of people out, and it went fantastic, man. It couldn't have gone any better. And, we're very thankful to be able to play in the honor of, our 4 buddies, and hopefully we can continue doing it for a long time.
Absolutely. This event takes place directly in St. Albert, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know, because I know it's different province than Humboldt, but obviously with the players that are from St. Albert, definitely makes sense and everything. That would love to try to make it up there, man. Just it sounds like the camaraderie and the community with that event is just amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that's a big passion of yours. So right on with doing that, as we get closer to next summer and it starts to pan out again, let us know, and we'll definitely push as much as we can. I think here in the States, there's some things that are lost in translation. I know for the people that are heavily into hockey here, it's a big story. And even when it happened, a lot of the news outlets carried it, but it just kind of got glazed over. If you weren't really into hockey and everything. So for us personally, us 4 in this room, I know it affected all of us. So it's funny, I can remember exactly what I was doing when it happened. I remember you guys were in Victoria.
Yeah.
And I was actually doing social media for the team that night, and just watching it unfold was just incredible. So anyway, that will constantly be in conversation. Derek, so Parker, Derek's new to our show. Well, not new now. He's been around for a couple months. But one thing he does do, which I'm super appreciative of, that's what I appreciate about you, Derek.
Is that what you appreciate about me?
You guys need to take about 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
You bring some news tidbits, and I know that at least one of them was that Strasser surgery yesterday, correct?
Yeah, in Thailand, he went for this for surgery to try to regain some quality life, as the article said. And it was just fascinating describing this procedure. Essentially, they were going to place implants in his spine that are going to simulate like electrical pulses, so it'll feel like he's feeling things in his nerves.
Interesting.
So almost like Luke Skywalker's robot hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sounded like and it's way more in depth than that. I stripped it down to its least common denominator to make sense. But just fascinating to me that this even exists in the medical world. But so I hope his recovery goes amazing, and I hope he's able to regain some of the things that obviously he lost in that horrible wreck.
Did you hear anything about that, Parker?
I haven't. No. Well, I obviously knew he was there. I knew he was having it one of these days. Yeah, he actually Straz played hockey with my twin brother
okay.
when we were growing up, when we were very little kids. So, best wishes out to Straz, and hopefully he's doing all right and feeling better, and they can fly him back home soon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to rewind. You have a twin brother?
I do. Yes.
Does he play hockey?
He does not. No.
Oh, just curious, because I did not know these fun facts.
Yeah, you would never know we were twins if you saw us walking in the street together.
Okay, that's so funny.
I've seen pictures of you two, and I mean, I knew you had a brother. Had no fucking clue it was your twin brother.
No.
So and it's kind of like Beck. Beck Warren has a twin brother, and I had no idea. I knew he had a brother, but I didn't know he had a twin brother.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here
Well, yeah.
or Instagram stalking you and looking at your family photos. I'm like, oh, and I did not even know. Oh, that's a twin.
Yeah, twin it is.
That's awesome.
Well, there's your fun fact. There you go, guys. I just jumped the gun.
Just nailed it.
Yeah, perfect. I appreciate you, Anya.
Oh, thank you.
You don't even need to take anything off of that. So, what else were we? So Corey had to step away for a second. I guess nature called.
Or maybe life called hello.
No, he
people
actually told me I have
life.
to go to the bathroom. So Corey is not on.
Okay, that's just good
He
to
may
know.
have sharded.
He's not on here right now.
Okay, that's hilarious. Like, oh my gosh, we have to make it a point that this is the clip. This is the clip, Aaron.
Did Corey sharded?
Yes, that's the clip we're gonna share this week about.
I said he may have, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay, allegedly. There you go.
Do we want to dive into some of these?
Well, I
St.
don't know.
Albert-
I want to go back to the Carleton Ravens here for a second.
Oh
So-
yeah, we didn't talk a whole
so
lot
who,
about that. That's
who
true.
is your most famous, I guess, alumnus from Carleton?
And this is not a trick question.
No,
We
yeah,
actually
just
don't know.
I'm just curious. I know I know one of the alumni is the mayor of Ottawa right now.
How cool.
So that's pretty
Yes.
good company.
Like, yeah, I thought you were talking about hockey. I was like,
Oh yeah, not
thanks.
specifically hockey, just anybody from the university.
So, like I mentioned the basketball team earlier.
Sure.
Their head coach, I'm not exactly sure if he went to Carleton, but he coached obviously them to a fucking 1,000,001 national championships.
Yeah.
Actually, he's on with the Ottawa Senators now
Neat.
as like they hired a basketball coach who's won so much onto the Senators.
Wow.
So, like, I think I don't know.
Just to, like,
I would
pep
assume
talk him or
to
something?
teach some sort of winning culture, or obviously he knows how to win and knows
Yeah.
what it takes and what it's all about.
Oh, right on.
Our head coach also played in the NHL, played for the Oilers. He played with Kelly Buchberger actually on the Oilers.
Oh, cool.
So
nice.
Played for the Senators for a few years. He's very involved in like the Senators community around here. So yeah, I'm not exactly, I'm new, so I haven't heard a whole lot about famous alumnus, I guess, but those are to name a few, I guess.
I'll tell you right now, it's Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
There, you see, there's your.
The Dan Aykroyd.
That's awesome.
He has he has an honorary Doctor of Letters degree, but he did go there for a couple years. He didn't.
like
He
honorary.
didn't graduate,
Boo.
but he did attend classes at Carleton University for a couple years.
That's cool.
I think that's
Fucking A.
fascinating.
That's awesome. One of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, the Dan Aykroyd.
Okay, so I'm gonna be probably noob. Parker, is this your first year at this college?
It is, yes.
Okay.
He was here last year.
Well, I know that, but like my brain went to like timing, and I'm like, wasn't he here just last year? And now, okay, I just had to confirm. Sorry, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's still morning time here.
Sorry,
we
I'm
have-
a loser.
We haven't hit lunch yet. We're only
No, you're not. Don't say that.
we're only 2 coffees into the day.
I don't know
so-
if you listen often to the podcast, but I think the thing here on this show is to like self
deprecate
ourselves. So I had to do it in one of these episodes. So
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so now you're done.
There.
We're moving on from that culture. Fuck that culture. Derek
Yo.
tried to put together some fun facts about St. Albert, and he sent a message this morning. He goes, fuck, St. Albert's like the most boring city or boring town in Canada. That's what he's saying about your hometown there, Parker.
This is totally
Yeah, it's
fabricated.
like ranked number 2 or number 1 safest places in Canada to live, though.
I did see like
Ooh.
That's why it's so boring.
5 or 6 years in a row, it was ranked as like the nicest city to live in all of Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. No, what I was trying to come across.
I threw you under the bus, man.
I was hoping for some just crazy like fun things to like talk about, and it's just pretty
do you know how
straightforward.
rare that
but-
is, though? In most places, there's just most places are just normal, happy places to live.
I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, Richland, nobody really knows what Richland, Washington is, but they know what the atomic bomb is.
Right. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a funny story to tell real quick about that. I used to work for a really large company here in the Tri-Cities. They're not based in the Tri-Cities, but anyway, I worked for them here. And there was some visitors to this company that came over from Japan, and some people from this company took these Japanese people out for lunch and said, "Oh, by the way, like right down the road is where the atomic bombs were created. That's what we're known for around here."
Oh my gosh.
That's
This is not made up. Like, my boss was a dude that was at that lunch, and he came back and told
Oh
me
my
about
gosh.
it. And you gotta wonder. You gotta fucking wonder where common sense has gone these days, man.
Fucking embarrassing.
It's a fucking embarrassment, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that ain't good.
No,
No,
that's
so-
terrible.
We did find out though. Let's. I want to ask you this question because we do actually approximately know how many trees do you think are in St. Albert, Alberta?
Oh man.
Let me give you a little history of your area.
Yeah. Give me some background.
It is a beautiful, luscious green area, and they are known for their forest and hiking and wildlife areas. So that should give you a good number to go on to guess. Anyways, a good number to guess.
Not the fucking St. Albert I live in. It's not.
No, you don't think so?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was say, wait, I did my research this morning about your area. I was like, it says it's like it has places to like to hike or to like be outdoors and
Okay.
Yes.
So if you had to guess, let's say 20,000, 40,000, or 100,000.
I'd say 100,000.
Which is closest?
Yeah.
close.
80,000 is
80,000?
correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's back
That's
up.
like one tree for every person in St. Albert. There you go.
There you go.
Let's back up real quick. I don't know if we talked about this last time. St. Albert is a suburb of Calgary, correct?
Of Edmonton.
Edmonton. But you're a Flames fan, right?
I am, yes. That's where I was born.
Okay, and I was just going to ask you that too because you said Prince Albert, or I'm sorry, Prince. Where the fuck is my mind right now? Prince Albert. Good Lord. St. Albert. You said is not your hometown, so you were actually born in Calgary?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Calgary until I was 15.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've known
So this
Calgary
wouldn't work
most-
anyways.
Yeah.
Because
We picked the wrong city.
was
What
only
the
in there.
hell?
Well, no, that's where I live. That's the right city. You're
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
that's fantastic.
Well, Derek has 3 more questions to ask you.
Well, let's see. So let's just say, what is kind of the moniker that's been placed upon St. Albert? Is it the hockey town? Is it the best city to live in Canada or the botanical arts city?
Is there an all of the above?
No.
There's one that rides high over the rest.
I might go off the board and say botanical arts.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You would be correct.
Point
Yeah,
for Parker.
Because we have a big botanical arts center in St. Albert, actually not far from my house.
Oh, that's awesome. I actually was looking at pictures of that, and it looks pretty rad.
Yeah, it's actually a beautiful facility.
Do you know? So who was the founder of St. Albert? Was it Jebediah Springfield, Albert Lacombe, or
Albert Lacombe. Albert
or
Lacombe.
Prince Albert in a can?
Albert
That was way too easy.
You would be correct. I did find it fascinating that there was some Canadian political rebellions against like the Blackfeet Indians back in the 1800s, and Albert Lacombe was influential in convincing some of the Indian tribes not to participate because they were just getting like massacred.
Oh, wow.
So sounds like a pretty nice guy, even though he was trying to force Christianity and Catholicism on them. He was also trying to protect them at the same time. So I thought that was interesting, and that the first mission house that he built is still standing today, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever been there.
What's it called?
It's called, I think they just call it like literally like the White House or something. I'll have to look it up real quick, but
That's really cool, though. Like, that's really old, because isn't it like...
it was in the 1860s, I think, when it
Yeah.
was built. So it's-
1860s?
yeah.
It's still there. That's really cool.
That's cool.
kind of like the Whitman mission, but I don't think that's the original Whitman mission. Or is it?
No, it's not. It got burned down.
That's what I
when they massacred everybody, they burned everything to the ground.
Speaking of Walla Walla. which
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Parker's heard of Walla Walla before.
Walla Walla.
Yeah, I sure have.
Have you had Walla Walla onions?
Town's so nice, they named it twice. Yeah,
I
if
don't
you
know
eat
if
it,
I have.
probably if you ever ate at Red Robin or
Yeah.
something, I'm sure
They're
they
so good.
they serve Walla Walla
yeah,
sweets
yeah,
on
okay.
in the onion rings or something.
Best darn onions around.
That's good stuff. How they feeding you there in college, man? Do you eat well?
I'm feeding myself, man. So,
Don't
I'll
like
let you
the.
answer that for yourself.
Is there like dormitories there? You live off campus, apartments?
No, I live
or-
on campus,
Okay.
off campus, in a house with. I live with Cody McDonald. Aaron, you know who that is, obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so he's been a buddy of mine, since we were younger. So I live with him and his girlfriend actually just moved in. So there's the three of us. And then in the basement of our house is Jagger White. He played for a few teams in the Western League, ended in Kootenay.
Okay.
And Matt Barbaris. He was in Vancouver virtually his whole career and then went to Kelowna at the deadline.
Okay. All those names sound very familiar. So
Did they play in the WHL?
Yeah, they did. All of them.
All
did.
of them.
So
I
I knew
actually
them all
just-
from before, which was nice.
Nice. Yeah. So that's really cool.
That's awesome. I love hearing those stories. I don't know if you listened to the episode we did with Bo over the summer, but he was talking about what was the guy? Whittingham, Riley Whittingham.
Yeah.
And how they just fucking hated each other when they were in the Western, and then they became like best friends when they moved to
Oh yeah, sure.
PEI. So
So is St. Albert? So going back to hockey a little bit, is that kind of like a center where if at a young age, 8-10 years old, you have an acumen for hockey and you're pretty good? Do you like go to St. Albert to be recognized? Like, do they have a really good hockey program or anything?
I wouldn't say that. No, I think growing like hockey's changed so much in the fact that it's all prep schools and it's all pay to play.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, which is sad because when I was playing minor hockey, right at the tail end of my minor hockey, right before I came to junior, is when everyone's kind of started going to these, big schools and all that sort of stuff, which is like, I mean, if you have the money, then sure.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think, it's a lost thing, playing for your riding or playing for your association and, just kind of playing for where you're from, because you have kids going, there's, the big ones in Penticton and Kelowna's OHA and POE,
Sure.
and there's a million of them in Edmonton now, and, they're everywhere. If you are willing to fork over 40,000 of your hard-earned dollars and your kid can go to a prep school and act like a prisoner for 8 months of the year.
Yikes.
So
Yeah, pretty much boarding school for those that want to play hockey.
It's basically all
what
it is. It's
turns
just
into.
it's
seriously, it's mental. It's mental.
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that go on to greater careers. I mean, if you guys really want to get nerdy on hockey, look at the drafts, especially like the WHL draft, and how many players come out of POE and then go on to have great careers and then play in the NHL and all that
Well,
stuff. So if you want to sell your soul to the dollar, then
So
you're
that's
good.
that's the reason I asked, really, because I was looking back of notable athletes to come from St. Albert, and for a city that size, 60,000 some odd people, it was an insane number of professional and not just hockey. There's Canadian Olympics champions that have come from St. Albert. I mean, it was just a crazy number of professional athletes across the board coming out of one small city. And I just thought, if that was maybe a hub for, good programs and people to be recognized, or if you just guys are like breeding good stock there.
Something in the water, safest place.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, it was just insane. Of course, I would say maybe the most famous hockey player probably to come from St. Albert, besides you, of course, would be the Mark Messier
The Moose.
Yeah, and Joe McGinley.
and McGinley. Yeah.
It's so funny. This summer, we went up to our lake house up close to Sandpoint, Idaho. I don't know if you're familiar
Oh,
with it.
awesome. I love Sandpoint. Yeah, great place.
So that same lake, that's Lake Penderay, and we stay on the southern end of that lake. There's a quiet little place there called Bayview, Idaho. We were sitting out on our dock one morning, and this guy walks over, and he's got a 6-pack of like Mike's Pink Lemonade under one arm. He's got a 6-pack of Bud Light Clamato under the other arm, and he comes over and he goes, "So if you guys want this, I can't take it across the border." And I was like, "Oh, dude, you're Canadian, man." And so I figure I'm in heaven here. I'm going to be able to talk hockey with this guy. We're going to be good. The dude knew nothing about hockey.
He played, though. He said
But
he played.
he did play. He knew where St. Albert was, and he grew up playing hockey with Jerome McGinley. So I just thought
Really?
that
That's
was a
crazy.
cool story.
Is that a thing though? Because like we have come across a lot of players who from Canada who have played when they were in their youth and younger, and maybe even a little college, and then they don't play or even follow it in their adult life. Do you find that to be true?
I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I feel like the people
You
I'm
associate
surrounded
with?
by are
Yeah.
all hockey people.
Yeah.
So it's probably unfair for me to comment because I'd be like, you're not.
True,
you don't know
I get
hockey,
that. Yeah,
so I'd be my friend.
Yeah, but I
I'm
find
just
a
kidding,
couple of the it's just funny to talk to a couple, Canadians, and either they don't like hockey anymore or whatever, or they just don't follow it, which I always had in my brain, and this is probably like
Because we're Americans.
Yeah, just our naive American.
our naive Americans.
Everything we learned about hockey was
Is from Canada.
Letterkenny. Yeah.
Right. But anyways, every time I think of hockey, I always initially going to think Canada. So I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, no, it was an
Yeah,
interesting
you
point.
guys are falling into the stereotypes.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
No,
have.
my son played about 5 years of youth hockey, and he got to the age where, like, if you weren't going pro, it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And so I know exactly what you're talking about. Shipping them to these. There's a couple kids, even from Tri-Cities, whose parents, thought they were so fantastically great at hockey that they sent these kids to to Colorado. There was some system in Colorado that they were sending them to, and they made it about 4 months, and all of a sudden they were back in school, and so it's just an interesting way of life.
Yeah.
We're old enough here at this table to remember when you could play every sport in school, and
Yeah, no kidding.
kids today don't get that luxury. You have to pick your one sport at 5 years old and do it all year round, and I think that sucks. That's my soapbox.
I was old enough to remember that, but I still didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played football. I grew up in Virginia, man. There wasn't a whole lot of hockey going on. I mean, there was the Norfolk Admirals, but as far as like high school hockey and amateur hockey and stuff, there wasn't a whole lot. My kid, my oldest, is a football stud. He was able to play a second sport, but that second sport was tennis.
That's what he chose, though.
Yeah, because he kept saying, "I need to play another sport," and we're like, "Damn, dude, we're going for broke by you playing football." And then he's like, "Well, I'll go play tennis," and I'm like, "Good luck. We'll see if you're any good with that."
And he was.
He had never played tennis in his life. He comes home, "Hey, I'm on the varsity team." Like, fuck. So he was just good. But you're right. I mean, what other sports did you grow up playing, Parker?
I was big time baseball.
Okay.
Ooh.
I played, AAA baseball growing up. Loved it. And then, like you just said, got to that age where you had to, you do get to an age that you have to pick, especially because, when you get to that age in hockey, you're playing in the winter and you're playing in the spring, right? You're playing basically year round.
Yeah.
So obviously I ended up choosing hockey, but I'm a big time baseball fan still. Love the Blue Jays, love to watch, especially playoff baseball.
Nice.
Very, very active. Love watching baseball, love checking the scores. I'm a big fan.
So did you guys feel like the Montreal Expos won the World Series this year?
I guess, yeah, a little bit. They'll be back soon. I promise you that.
Yeah. It just sucks that they toiled away forever, and then ever since they went to Washington, they've been competitive, and now they won the World Series. So
Yeah.
My uncle was the third base coach for the Montreal Expos.
Nice.
that is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's another fun fact for the day.
Gosh, man.
There's
That's awesome.
There's a local businessman around here who owns a magazine that we're all very familiar with, who constantly wears his Montreal Expos hat everywhere in public.
Yep.
So, your brother, though, so this is all making sense. Your brother went heavily into baseball, didn't he?
No. So my twin, he played hockey. So he played. So he never he obviously played hockey growing up, but he never kind of got to the same level as I did.
He wasn't as good as you. Is that right?
I didn't say that.
Good way to deflect that.
I'm politically correct. No, he would say the same thing too. He's much smaller than I am.
Okay.
He's that's why you would never know that we were twins.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he played up until midget, and then with school and stuff kind of didn't continue. Actually tried out high school football for a year, him and my stepbrother.
Oh, fun.
Just to try out something different. And then they actually ended up, after football, going back to playing hockey, and they played rec league and tore it up for a year. And then my twin brother, he works full time with for a safety company. He's done his courses and does all that stuff, and he's a safety officer on site in a bunch of job sites up in northern Alberta. So he's doing quite well for himself at 21 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Fuck, I was just going to ask you. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Okay, so I keep going back to, you've made that jump from junior to college. My son, when he played high school football, it was a very competitive. He was actually with Richland when Richland won the state championship. You probably heard about that stuff that happened while you were here.
Yes.
So he was telling me, and now he's got a torn ACL right now, so he hasn't played a whole lot, but he was telling me there was a pretty big jump from the off the field culture, and we'll switch that to off the ice culture, when he went to college. And what I mean by that is football was kind of, in high school, you showed up, maybe you lifted weights a little bit, maybe you ran around the track a little bit, and then you played your Friday night games. He's telling me in college, there's like a huge workout regime. There's a huge, you spend most of your time in the weight room and you spend most of your time in training. Do you feel that same way with college? Has there been a switch from juniors to college in that way for you?
I do feel like there's been a switch, but not to the extent of him, obviously.
Sure.
I actually have a friend from St. Albert who is on the Carleton football team also, and we work out together in the summertime. And I actually ran into him in the gym the other day, and he can only take 3 classes. They're on the field all day, all night. They're athlete students on the football team.
Yeah.
Where, as a lot of programs, you're a student athlete. That student comes first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here, I think they do a really great job. So I'll give you an example. So for the men's varsity hockey team, which is obviously what I play on,
Mm-hmm.
we have our scheduled workout times in the varsity gym it's Monday to Tuesday in the morning after we practice.
Okay.
So we have our set times. We're working out 2 days a week, no matter what. That's, they have it for us. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But they also set open gym times in the varsity gym for, I'd say, at least like 4 or 5 hours a day. So you can go in there, say you've done your Monday, Tuesday workout, and Wednesday after practice, you're in a good mood and you want to go work out, you can.
Awesome.
So they leave it a lot up to you. They, you're treated like adults because you are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have a great system going on here, and I know that it's very similar, at other places also.
Yeah.
Where you are your own boss, and your body at 21 to 25 years old. You know what you need to get done, and you also know that you have an assignment due at this time, or you have this class at this time. So it's kind of up, it's up in the air, and they leave it up to you in your own hands, which is great. I think they do a really good job at that here.
Was it that same way in junior? I mean, did you guys just kind of come up with your own workout regimes, or was there really some stuff that programs that they were having you follow?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I think, well, you know how Kelly is. He's very fitness. He's in the gym more than all of us combined, and that's an absolute promise.
Yep. Oh, I know.
I bet my house on it. So he's obviously very fitness oriented. But some days in junior, when you play 68 games, you don't fucking feel like working out.
Fuck yeah.
So I think it's big on the leadership group to kind of control when you're working out and when you need just a rollout or a bike or a stretch or whatever it is.
Sure.
And I think Kelly's very good at knowing, when guys are tired and when you need to go and when you need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. So I'm sure they're doing a great job at that this year, because it worked really well for us last year also.
Yeah, it's funny you say that about Kelly, because there was 2 different times we were over there doing some stuff for the opener, and doing some filming, and he comes in one time, and he's just sweating his ass off. He fucking wearing a weighted vest that he just
I
went
know, he's a psycho.
Yeah, he is. Well, and he just came in from a run. Well, then the next time I was like in the bathroom or something, and Anya was there with me, and she goes, "Yeah, Kelly just came and said hi to me." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then you hear these feet going up and down the steps in the arena. She's like, "Yeah, that's him running steps right now."
Oh, I know, man, it's ridiculous.
This guy's crazy, man. But oh, he's a rock star. We love
Hell
having
yeah.
him.
And he'd drink you under the table too.
I've heard some of those stories as well, so that's pretty awesome. Well, he learned a lot of time in the NHL, I guess. So
No kidding, playing with Gretzky and Lemieux and those guys, they'll teach you a few things, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
fuck yeah, being the captain there in Edmonton too. That guy's cool. We need to get him in on the show sometime. He's all business though.
You'd think that, but
Oh yeah. Oh, we got some inside information. Maybe
he's not so much all business. Well, he is. You know what I mean, though. He
sure.
has to be. He kind of has to put on that tough guy realm around the rink.
Sure.
But he's a big softy teddy bear and loves to joke around and loves to have fun and all that stuff. And he's like, I know we talked about this a couple months ago when I was on earlier, but like, he has a great heart, and like that's what makes him such a good coach. Is he's like. And obviously he played hockey for a long time, and he knows what it's like, but he's, a very special, kind-hearted guy, which makes him so fantastic to work with. I'm sure you know that too.
Yeah, he's been fun, man. He can be intimidating the first couple times you hang out with him, but then you're right. I mean, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and just every time I've seen him, just a really good overall person. He loves the game.
Absolutely.
And he's business in the fact that he wants to see success, but he's also a human being in the fact that he's there for people. So
absolutely.
I like it. Well, dude, we've taken up about an hour of your time here, man. You're Mr. College guy. I don't want to take too much more of it. Was there anything else you guys wanted to ask about St. Albert? Or are we going to save that for next time?
No, it's good, man. It was all
Yeah.
good. It was fun.
Good conversation.
I seriously, I'm going to throw this out here so people can keep us accountable on it. I really would love to try to make it up there next summer for that tournament. You guys usually do that like in June or July, correct?
Yeah, it's first weekend in July usually.
Okay, so we'll see what happens with that. It would be fun, but either way, we'll push it because I just that holds a special place in my heart as well.
Is this something you're just involved with, or did you like? Is this your thing?
This is my thing.
Okay, you started this. Okay, so I'll just tell you. I mean, that's
a group of my buddies. Started it, and then we were kind of like big in over our heads as 19-year-old kids trying to design a massive tournament for hundreds of people.
Sure.
But we had some adult help that kind of did a lot of the logistics for us. But it was our idea. We did 90% of the work. So
That's rad. That is so rad.
And it ended up working out really well again this year. So hopefully we can stay on course and it'll just keep getting better.
That's amazing, man. I'll say, as someone that is already past his prime at 40 plus years old, that's an amazing thing. It's a very difficult thing to do. And I wish you all the success in your hockey career and life. But if you do nothing else except for that, you've already accomplished something, my man. That's really awesome.
I really appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. Thank you.
What's the name of it? Like your tournament? What's it called?
It's the St. Albert Humboldt Remembrance Tournament. So, so we have, and there's also like the committee, like I said, that the mayor.
Yeah.
So the St. Albert Humboldt Charity Tournament. Yeah, Humboldt. Something like that. Sorry, I don't know exactly. It's some long tournament name, but
no, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
I just want to make sure that we like mention it when we go to promote this podcast. Just the name of your.
I think we should grab an RV and grab Westy and
road trip.
Oh,
head up.
Well, hold on.
God, you don't want to be in an RV with Westy.
I was like, hold on. Do we really, Parker? Do we have your permission that we could bring Westy up for a couple of days?
He needs to be fucking locked in the cage in the back.
So you think he's bad now?
He's not bad. He just talks a lot.
I know.
No,
Westy, man.
I would never say a bad word about Westy. He just doesn't shut up sometimes.
He is
Sometimes.
mild these days compared to 20 years ago when I was hanging out with him on a daily basis.
That's funny.
So yeah,
I'm telling you,
he's
when
toned
we're
it
ready
down
to
a little
go,
bit.
Him and Aaron are talking, and I'm in the van like 30 minutes ago. Like, peace.
Oh, man.
Real quick, we'll end with this story. I was warned early on with Westy, and if you're listening, which I know you're not, we do love you, Westy, we do. But I was warned early on that if he starts talking and you need to be somewhere, you just have to leave.
Yeah, you just turn around and
You
go.
cannot wait for the conversation to be over. You literally just have to walk out the door.
Yeah.
And I couldn't grasp that for the longest time. And so I was losing 30 to 60 minutes every time I was around Weston. I finally tried it.
God, man.
I walked out of his office one day, just walked out. I'm like, he's going to fucking hate me. And it's like nothing even happened, dude.
Yeah. It's just how you do it, dude.
Well, any chance you could get him in some goalie pads and have people fire pucks at him is a good, excuse to.
Yeah. I would love to be
Laugh.
in a car with him and Don Knockbauer
Oh, man.
together.
You
I think
are
there'd be
a-
some great stories there.
You're a
I'm not sure if
glutton
you,
for
you
punishments, bro.
saw that tweet the other day. Guy Flaming does that radio show in Edmonton, and I saw his tweet, and he tweeted like the audio of a conversation he had with someone, and it's like Guy did no talking, and the other guy did all of it. The whole bar is blue, and then his whole bar is white of his audio clip, and Regan Bartel, the play-by-play for Kelowna, he replied back to his tweet and said, "Sounds like a conversation with Craig West."
That is fantastic.
I have seen some interactions between Bartel and Westy when they come through town, and it's just it's funny. Those two, they're great. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, well, when you've been doing it for that long, both those guys,
Yep,
you get it figured out.
absolutely. All right, Parker. Well, we're super appreciative, man. We're definitely going to do this again. I really hope, and I haven't said a whole lot. I've told these guys a little bit, but I hope that our plan later on in the season is going to work out for a live recording. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, dude, you're the man. You know that.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. Anytime you need me, I'm always here. So it's a pleasure always, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the winter, and we'll be in touch.
You too, man.
Thanks,
take
brother.
it easy. Make sure you're going to classes
Awesome.
all the time.
Yeah, go to class, man. Stop, hang up the phone and get to class.
Awesome. Okay, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Talk to you later, my man.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys. See you later.
Fun as always.
absolutely.
So Parker, just stud. And then what you
Just a
said is
beast.
true. I mean, to be able to do that sort of stuff.
It's impossible at 19 years old. Come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
mean,
didn't know
it's-
it was his idea.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why it was-
so cool.
I was going to ask him. I think Patrick Day was involved with it too, because Patty Day had some friends on the bus that was lost. But I mean, I'm dead serious when I say I'd love to go up there.
Oh,
I
it'd
think
be
that'd
fun
be
as hell.
amazing.
Yeah, it'd be fun as
That
hell
would
to
be
go up
awesome.
there and kind of represent.
Yep. So it sounds like everybody in Edmonton's always trying to get out of Edmonton. I'd love to go hang out in Edmonton and check it out, man. So
Agreed.
anyway, boys, that was fun.
Oh, shit. I was going to ask him if he liked Coulter Wall. He's a Calgary guy.
Oh, well then we'll throw that in next
Yeah,
time. He'll
there
be
you go.
back. He'll be back.
Post it on the page.
yeah.
Okay.
Make
Just
it,
be-
tag him and make him answer it.
Yeah.
Just say,
Yeah.
yo.
Come on.
Yeah, or tweet it at him. Something.
No, we can save that. We can
Real-
save that conversation.
Real quick as we wrap up today, we started a little contest with Viking Drool. Viking Drool gets a lot of love on podcasts. That
Well,
we're
our
involved with.
podcast.
Yeah, it's just fun to say.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday on Garage.
And we're
Drama.
all hairy-faced bastards, so
Yeah.
I'm not.
Thank God. That would not be good. We started
I'd pay to see it.
a promotion today. We started a cross promotion today with Viking Drool, good friends of ours, big hockey fans. We've got some stuff we're doing in the future with them, but to kind of get the two brands together on social media, if you go to,
Yeah.
excuse me, I got the hiccups. This fucking tea, or is it vodka?
vodka tea.
Vodka tea. There you go.
Patent it.
You're not
The
supposed to eat potatoes, bro.
It's hard. Oh fuck! I gotta check my blood sugar.
Whiskey. Whiskey's okay.
Whiskey's
Yeah,
good.
whiskey's good.
Clear alcohol.
Vodka
clear.
bad.
Yeah. Fuck. There's a contest. Go check it out.
There's a thing.
It's on.
You can win cool shit.
On our Instagram. Yeah, we're giving away some shirt and some stickers. They're giving away some beard oil and some different things they have. So
I got to get me some leather and lace, man.
if there's any left.
That shit is incredible.
Does he only does like a small batch and doesn't make it
Yeah.
again, right?
Well, actually, no. Okay, so leather and lace he is going to do again, but he's saying if anybody's bought it, save your koozies. They're not doing the koozies again. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So it's a fucking embarrassment. So anyway, shout out to Ben. We'll have Ben on sometime soon to talk about the brand and everything. But it's No Shave November. which as we
is no
call-
problem.
Does
is-
that count for girls too?
Go for it.
I don't have to shave my legs.
Go for it.
I thought that was called summer for you.
Fuck, dude.
Hey, I've been really good at
Oh
it.
wait, no, that would be winter for you. And I don't care. When do I ever give you a hard time about the? Never mind.
It's gonna be an uncomfortable car ride home.
Luckily, it's only like 4 minutes. So,
Nah, he walking home.
No Shave November, as we call it, is amateur month. But
Yeah.
in all honesty, it is once again to raise awareness for men's health problems because all of us. And I can attest to this firsthand. We don't like going to the doctor. We don't like them checking out our shit. Well, that fucking
Literally.
almost killed me a year ago.
Yeah.
So just do it. Man, I could be a good spokesman for this. I totally forgot.
Dude,
yeah.
I fucking hate November. Like, just cause-wise.
Yeah.
No shave, no nut. They expect you to write a fucking book. Like, there's just too much going on. It's a very stressful month.
Right. Right.
And you're trying to plan Thanksgiving dinner at the same time.
That's why I'm like, fuck it all. I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah. Fuck tradition. Sorry, Wayne.
But you can win free stuff. So go like
Yeah.
our Instagram, Buried Puck Threads,
All of
or
that was
Biking
just for the
Drool.
joke.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We didn't talk Letterkenny again. Who fucking cares? We'll talk Letterkenny at some point because it ain't going anywhere. We need to thank our sponsor. Our sponsor.
Yeah.
The one that lets us do this
Yes.
without
yes.
asking too much in return.
And they
Cascade-
have really cool Funko Pops.
Indeed. Cascadia Hockey is produced in the AU Radio podcast studios, located above AU Radio, or Adventures Underground.
Too much AU shit going
Too
on.
much AU shit. 1391 George Washington Way, Richland, Washington, 99354. Come on in. Check them out on Facebook, Twitter, all the regular social medias, or at advunderground.com.
Yes, and if you're not a fan of like sugary drinks from the cafe, I do have to say I'm drinking a lovely Earl Grey with cream in it this morning.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
very tasty. And for us that watch our sugar intake,
And
because
they
we want to
care.
live.
Like they say, we'll be back in 4 minutes. It's going to sit and steep. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And then there's no tea bag in there. So I don't even have to like, it's awesome. I love it.
Yep, we do. They do it up in the Caterpillar Cafe.
They do it
and,
right.
and their Earl Grey is like, for a while I was banned from it.
Because you were using it all?
Yeah, because I drank one of my favorite morning beverages is a London Fog.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just, I'm London Fog.
Yeah.
And the current administration put the tariffs on tea coming in from China, and the price skyrocketed, and they were like, bro,
Yeah.
you got to calm down.
Yeah.
'Cause
Or
we,
pay.
we can't get it in as fast.
Fucking politics.
No, that was the thing is we were going through it too fast. We couldn't get
Oh,
more
too
in.
fast.
Yeah.
We
Well, hey,
As
top
in-
dollar for a London Fog.
as in Corey was going through it too fast. Anyway, check it out. Adventures Underground, can't push it enough. We're coming into the holiday season here. We've got Record Store Day coming up on Black Friday.
Yeah.
come
There's
s-
so many cool things to buy here.
Come spend some fucking money. Every time I come here to record, I go home with something, and Anya just rolls her eyes. So
I know.
Shit. Every time he goes, I got the approval from the wife.
yeah.
Actually, he did not yesterday.
Yes, I. Oh, that's true.
Oh, you lied to me.
Did I?
Actually, I don't care.
I know you don't care.
You, sir, are a liar.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, I quit.
No.
going
And I'm
home
just
now.
going to sell him more. We got the W in yesterday.
Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah.
Nope. Came in. I found it on the counter like 10 minutes after you left.
How much is it?
$34.95.
Can I get my Funko Pop?
Yeah.
Okay, we going shopping,
All right, we're going shopping on this.
boys!
Anyway, buriedpuck.com. Check it out. Join the email list. We've got a lot of shit going out. Just had one go out this morning. Keep an eye out.
Buy a T-shirt.
Buy
Help
a
them
t-shirt.
keep Adventures Underground in business by spending your money through them
Yeah.
to us.
Y'all got any more of them Wu-Tang vinyls?
Yay.
So anyway, just thank you guys. That was fun. I guess it's time to bring it on home.
It is. This has been an amazing episode. Thank you so much to Parker Coin for joining us via the long-distance telephones, Canada Trans.
I think he's still got a calling card.
Yeah.
No, he's got a 509 number.
Oh, fucking cheater. Look at that. That was awesome. Derek, Anya, Aaron, thank you guys for letting me host this nonsense.
You're
You
good
guys-
at
We
it.
appreciate it, man.
Are you guys ready?
That's what we appreciate about you.
Let's give them a 1, 2, 3. Ferda!
I omit.
Bits of bricks and broken glasses. Before scores of storms flatten us, habitats dried up and cracked. After NAFTA, the disastrous supranational trade pact and unfettered access to capital before the crash that ended crashes. After the green light on greed, governments governing by agreement. Design signed by the company chief, by and for corporate supersede, override the needs of life before we die, cause they sign it. The sky cracked and society took 2 gigantic steps backwards. After the passage of Trade Act, enacted and activated aftermath. After apathy, carved path through green pasture. After fascists, after Keynesian market strategists built the patterns that killed the planet. After knowing, but as it manifests, big business gets a grab at it. After the new management, after aftermath, it got added in. Subtraction, resource extraction. After markets are made the master. Before collapse, before the rapture, before the bricks and the glass. After sovereignty's put to pasture and the earth tapped.